This week on Did Y'all See, we're talking about Sevyn Streeter and B.O.B's failed relationship, T.I.'s sexist comments about a woman president, and who's to blame for Lamar Odom's overdose. All this tea on Did Y'all See. So did y'all see that apparently B.O.B and Sevyn's relationship is over? Sad. I don't. It's like a weird story that he was like sliding in some woman's DMs, blah blah blah. I don't know. And he was like, "It's not cheating if your girl knows about it." But before that, he said that they were broken up, so nobody knows. The sort of position we kind of had was like, you know, as soon as they got together, Sevyn was out here doing a lot of talking about their relationship and like, what is it? This white have sex with your man whenever he wants it, blah blah blah. It's like, even if she did that, it didn't stop him from acting the fool. So it's just kind of like, do you need to chill? As soon as you get a man, you ain't necessarily got all the answers. And then you look crazy when your man does something crazy, y'all broke up, and then you like, you ain't got nothing to say. So I don't know. What y'all think?
Y'all know how I feel about that. I feel like, and I don't care if y'all been solid 25 years. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like speaking on your relationship too much is ever a good idea, especially not when it's new like that. It's unfortunate that things unfolded for her the way that they have, because I feel like she's such a sweet girl. But you learn. You get embarrassed one good time and you learn to shut up.
That's true.
I always say that. A man will embarrass you one good time and you learn how to close your mouth after that. So it sucks that she has to go through this, but hopefully it's a teaching or a learning experience.
Segueing off of what Jasmine was saying, I think it's also super iffy to kind of preach advice when your man is out here. He's the one that really started off the whole Eggplant Friday thing that unfortunately Instagram shut down.
Might be coming back.
That's true. But you know, when your man does like super sexual flirtatious things with his fans, I mean, even though he doesn't personally know them, but the way he would carry on in such a manner, like he had nothing to lose. And that's the weird thing. Like when you're dating someone that has nothing to lose in that sense, it's like you have to be wary of what you say because they really don't care. Right. We're just out here in these streets.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, scurrying into the
Scurrying away.
Right.
Yeah, I'm usually one to be like, yeah, be quiet, because you know how my stance was with Fantasia. But I think in a way, like with Sevyn, like they did stuff like here and there, and I think when people asked her questions about her relationship, she was honest about like what works for her. She didn't necessarily like delve too deep into what they had going on. But so at the same time, I kind of feel like, yeah, you should try to be quiet about things, but you know, people are going to know certain people are together. Like, you don't want to hide your relationship at the same time. And no matter what, if a man is a hot mess, he's going to make you look like a fool, whether you say something or you didn't say anything. That's true. So, you know, I don't really, want to tell her, like, yeah, girl, well, make sure you shut up next time. Shut that mouth. Like, shut
that mouth.
But I think more so, it's not even about, like, doing too much for an unworthy man for me. I feel like it's, like, when a man does too much after the fact. Because to me, when they broke up, he was so...
Yeah, he
like,
was out here.
You hurt. Your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Because now she's not saying anything, and you saying everything. Like, you trying to save
when they were
face.
together, you didn't talk about her ever. So now don't be talking about your woman and blah, blah, blah. When I was your woman, you didn't have nothing to say about me.
That's true.
Now that's,
Because you hurt.
Character flaws, and that's stuff you probably saw from the get-go. Did y'all see? Because I'm already mad all over again. How Clifford Harris went on a podcast, a radio program, and was asked his opinion about Hillary Clinton running for president, and basically said a woman cannot be president because we make rash and emotional decisions, and we'd have a better chance getting the Loch Ness monster elected than a woman. I wrote a rather long diatribe about this because I'm not going to say in my feelings because that's emotional. I was disgusted at his comments. Not necessarily because that's how he thinks, but just that the hypocrisy in that for a man who has a slew of rash emotional decisions in his past that wouldn't make him fit to lead anything, to say that about a woman who doesn't have that type of background. And then to blanket the whole gender with that type of nonsense was crazy to me. So I was done with him. But what blew my mind even more was a lot of readers on our site were like, it's true, I'd rather have a male boss than a female boss. I've had too many bosses who be in their feelings. Other people are like, he can't have an opinion. That's how he feels. I'm like, anybody can have an opinion. That doesn't mean it's not sexist. If somebody white got up and said, "All you nappy-headed whatever," it's an opinion. It's still racist. Like, so he's still sexist. That to me is not debatable.
It's generally almost like the Raven Simone thing. Like, I will keep you from getting a job because of your name. I would keep you. I don't want you to have a position because of your your sex.
So I'm like, how y'all get so upset about that? Then this comes. It's still crazy. Like, it's still crazy
because it was said about somebody who's not black, probably.
I feel like people buy into that because they're oppressed by this male-driven society. Like, men have told you that you're too emotional to do certain things and you're so unstable for so long that it becomes ingrained and you start to believe it, which explains the 20 readers who were like, well, he has a point. And I feel like men and women, individuals have their individual faults. Like, I don't think that you can blanket an entire gender or race or anything based on, stereotypes and assumptions, but I feel like he speaks and he doesn't really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he just pops off. And then the fact that he followed up and apologized so soon. I can't even respect
his
that.
Comments were unequivocally insensitive.
Yeah. I can't even.
Right.
Yeah. Because no. If that's how... I could respect it more if he would have said it and just stuck with it.
I mean, yeah.
You're the unstable one.
We know that's how he feels.
Right.
I mean...
I think he just made it so personal. And the thing about it, the 20 readers who did follow in his footsteps, I think when, like, a Jay-Z or a T.I. says something because they, like, sound intelligent, like, no offense, but some of y'all hood boogers just be out here like, that's what I'm saying, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, no. You don't even know what it unequivocally means.
Right.
But I digress. I just really think he made it a more personal thing when in reality it's like, you probably didn't watch the Democratic debate and you don't know what you're saying. So, yeah.
I don't like to listen to people tell folk that they can't do something because of decisions they made when you literally went into a fat burger and threw chairs and put people's lives in danger over what you thought was going on between your wife and a grown-ass man. To me, I'm just like, you're really not the one to say anything about anything. Rash decisions, nothing, because he's the type of person, if he was president, we would go straight to war each and every time.
Day.
He already got the artillery in his squad. He called the president, like, you need this? Because I got the AK-47 chilling next to the Bentley. But so to me, it's just like, it's very sexist, and that's what people, anybody can have an opinion.
Right.
And that's fine. But he doesn't have a point.
He can't vote for real anyway. So, yeah, you are right
so
about
who
that.
asked him?
But it depends.
Why?
DJ who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
He probably knew. He knew he would say some craziness. Because we ain't talking about nothing else.
He was like, I bet Tip is going to get on the microphone and be like, indubitably,
exactly.
serendipity, seriously, women can't vicariously live
through a man's penis. Because then it's like, and then Travis Scott is Iggy Azalea personified in a black man. And it was like,
bro, everything he says nowadays.
It's like
he loves throwing women under the bus. He loves throwing women under the bus.
You know what's crazy to me too, though, is like, why can't I be emotional and be capable of running a country?
Because y'all are emotional and capable of doing it too, and I'm not going to run this country by myself.
Even
though I'm not going to be the only person.
Can we talk about other countries with
decisions.
female presidents?
Right.
Also, this isn't a new concept here. And then can we talk about other...
And our Congress literally holds us based on rash decisions because they don't like one another. Come on.
And on top of how many people said we weren't ready for a black president. And you would have been out in them streets trying to start a riot. Right. But it's okay to say that about a woman. Like, stop this. Did y'all see this week? Sort of a sad story. Lamar Odom was found unconscious in a brothel. And, it's been rumored that he was on drugs and had a lot of issues going on. That's why him and Chloe were getting a divorce and all that. So, naturally kind of this story comes out and everybody hates the Kardashians, so people are kind of looking to blame them. If he hadn't got with that family, Piers Morgan, you wrote a piece about Piers Morgan kind of trying to blame them, anybody who gets involved with them, their lives are destroyed, which is true.
I agree.
Exactly. Absolute facts.
However, has nothing to do with substance abuse.
I just have to say, anybody in this day and age with that much money getting on crack, it ain't got nothing to do with who's around you. Like, that's something in you. That's some decisions you made. And I don't think it's fair, to put that on somebody else. They probably weren't helping his situation, but I definitely wouldn't. They're not the first people I'm looking at and pointing fingers to, for sure. But what did y'all think about, this argument?
I've always had a soft spot for Lamar Odom. Yeah. And if he does actually have a drug problem, I don't believe that it just started when he got with the Kardashians. I feel like he probably had been struggling with that for a while. I did used to watch Chloe and Lamar, and his father wasn't the best figure. He was always in and out of his life. His mother died when he was 12, so he was raised by his grandmother. So Lamar has really been out here by himself for a long time. And I feel like when you're kind of like that, it's very easy to fall prey to certain things. Yeah. And I feel like more than anything, Lamar needed someone to be there for him. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that somebody could have stopped his addiction. You have to want to do that on your own. But as somebody who's witnessed addiction very closely, you need somebody to be like, when you fall off the wagon and you relapse, it's okay. Just get back at it. But when it's just you on your own and you don't have a support system, it's hard. And it's like, I feel like this was inevitable.
I just feel like these men have a lot of these men who marry into this family have a lot of issues. And whenever they hit rock bottom or any of the substance abuse problems or any other emotional problems that they have, something triggers it and they just fly off the handle. For some reason, and I watched the Kardashian show, it's always this like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. We're so embarrassed by, and it's so weird because it's like, you guys are not truthful. You're not holding up to being accountable partners or having some sort of integrity. Even with Chris, it's like, I didn't know, girl, you knew Caitlyn was Caitlyn, girl. Yeah. So I just kind of feel like whenever anything pops off and it can tarnish their brand or what people think of them, I don't like the fact that they just kind of separate them. They distance themselves, they separate themselves, and then when things hit the fan, it's like, or if they can turn it around in their favor, then it's like, here they are. Randomly, we see a paparazzi gets a picture of Chris outside the facility. So it's just, I don't know, just prayers up for Lamar, but family is just...
I think that was genuine. I think them all flying out there and going to be with him, they know that they're the closest thing that he has to family at this point. You know what I'm saying?
You think they care?
I think they care now, but I feel like y'all should have cared a year or so ago. You know what I'm saying?
Today, don't care tomorrow.
When y'all discarded him and just threw him away, y'all knew that this was all, y'all were his family. This was all he had at this point, and y'all just kind of abandoned him because it was starting to come out that stuff wasn't as sweet as it looked. Right. But when nobody wanted Chloe, and I hate to be like that, but when people were painting her as the ugly sister and all of this, Lamar went and married her or whatever, and left his family and.
True. That's real.
True. And what? He's made some poor choices, but I don't think that he got a fair deal in this situation.
I don't want to say in their circumstances y'all wasn't there, y'all didn't do this, because I'm not in that situation, and I can't say how I would act if I was with somebody and you had a drug issue or you had an alcoholism issue, and especially in Scott's situation where you kept relapsing and you said you're going to get help and nothing was changing, and then you cheated on me. So to me, I
don't put those in the same category.
Those people, I feel like there are pieces where it's okay, well, that's not fair, because they stood by them. As a family, as a collective, as a whole, I look more so at Chris, because she's the one who is their business pusher and everything. And do I say that they kind of left him out to dry as a whole? the focus, like I said in the piece, should be more so on Lamar and his kids. That's his family, and that family needs to be the one we talk about and that we pray about.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Did Y'all See? Let us know what you think about these topics in the comments section, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MadameNoire.